All right, Rabotai, Boker Tov to everybody. Sorot Tovot. How are you? I hope everybody's okay. We are dedicating again the class, Leilun Ishma, Devorah Fege Bat Shemuel, and for Refuah Shlema for Devorah Bat Rivka. You know, we discussed yesterday a little bit the concept of Kol Ma'avir al Midotav, Ma'avirim lo o al Rov o al Kol Peshav, a person who is able to be Ma'avir al Midotav. What's Ma'avir al Midotav? What is that word? Say the person who is able to control his Midot. Lishlot al Midotav. What is Ma'avir al Midotav? Right? Ma'avir is like to let it pass. So the answer is, Ma'avir al Midotav means to go over. Pass over my qualities. My Midot usually, as a human being, is to react in certain occasions in a certain way. Someone says something bad to me, my natural way of answering will be the same way that I got hit by someone else. If someone bar minan is fighting, is chas v'shalom hitting you, the first reaction of the person is to hit him back. Someone hurts you with a word, you will react the same way. That's the regular midot. That's the regular qualities. But there is a ma'avir al midotav, the one that is able to pass over those qualities. This person, he's zocheh da borei olam, will also make the same exactly thing. What is it? When a person make a sin, right? Borei olam is supposed to punish him accordingly. It's not a punishment; it's a result. Right? It's like an example. Bar minan, we should never know. But if a kid, right, is putting his hand on top of the stove, right, his hand is gonna burn. It's not a punishment; it's a result. The same thing with us as a averot. If I make something wrong, the result is a certain type of punishment. That's the natural way how we work. Say HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but 1 second. If you were able to go above your nature, to control the regular reaction that a person have, I'm going to be able also to go above the regular nature and to be able to pass over the bad actions that you did. That's the concept of Kola and Kola Ma'avir al Midotav. Rabotai, you know, it's unbelievable. You open up the Torah and you're going to find that that's the main thing in the whole Torah. Moshe Rabbeinu, right? What's his nickname? V'aish Moshe, anav me'od mikol ha'adam asher al penei adam. He was so humble. Rabotai, it's like to take Chacham Ovadia Yosef, that he was genius in Torah, right? He fulfilled all the mitzvot. He was good in everything. And to say, he was very good by giving tzedakah. You kill him. You took all the great things and you put it so limited. That's the title. Take up Moshe Rabbeinu. He was the only one, the only human being that went up to Shamayim as an angel. He brought us the Torah. He took us out from Egypt, 10 plagues, 40 years in the desert. And you're limiting it just by saying, V'aish Moshe Anav, he was humble? The answer is, Rabotai, that's exactly the point. The point is that all the Torah and all the mitzvot and all the ma'asim tovim are only for one purpose. What is it? To be able to be ma'avir al midotav. To be able to go above your nature. To be able to control your instinct, your animal instinct. That's the greatest thing that a person can reach. So Moshe Rabbeinu, by saying Anav, I didn't limit him. I just showed that all what he got brought him to become the most anav in the world, to be ma'avir al midotav, because the person who is humble have the power to control himself even when someone is hurting him. And believe me, Moshe Rabbeinu had many cases in the people hurt him, and he knew how to react accordingly. That's number one. Number two, Chachamim are telling us, the more a person controls himself, like we just said before, more he's gaining and gaining and gaining with no limits. I must tell you a beautiful story, beautiful, amazing, that I heard very recently. There was a kid in Israel by name Uri. That's his name. And one day, the mother of Uri calls up the kid and she tells him, Uri, I need you to reinforce yourself in Ben Adam Lahavero. To be a better kid, trading others. And Uri, please, I beg you, do it. And also pray for me. I need a lot of tefillot. Uri was a kid, 9 years old, 10 years old. He says, Mommy, what's wrong? What tefillot? What are you talking about? He says, Uri, unfortunately, Mommy is very sick. And Mommy needs a lot of prayers. Please, Uri, pray for me. But not only pray, but do actions. Take it from whatever you know and apply it, especially in between you and your fellows. The kid was in shock, was very sad. Rabotai, Uri goes to the Talmud Torah, to the school, and he hears the Rabbi of the class saying, today, kids, we're going to make a type of chart we're going to try to make mitzvot of tzedakah. So whoever, have something, a shekel, 5 shekel, whatever it is, to help up poor people. Uri just heard that. He went to his savings, right? And he took all the money that he had in the savings, and he went to his Rabbi, and he said, Rabbi, here it is. All this money I want to donate for tzedakah. Rabbi looks, wow, that's a lot of money. Where did you get the money from? No, those are my savings. But why? You're not supposed to give all your money. He says, yeah, Rabbi, I want to give tzedakah so much to help other Jews, and I hope that will be refuah shlema for my mother. Rabbi, can you promise me that if I fulfill this mitzvah, my mother will be healthy? Rabbi looks at Uri and tells him, Uri, I cannot promise. I wish to promise. But you know what? For sure, we're going to pray together in this mitzvah. For sure, it's going to help. For sure, he's going to do something good in Shemaim to help up your mother. Rabotai, a few months later, the Rabbi in the class comes again with another type of project. He says, kids, we're standing before the winter. In the winter in Israel, it's not like the winter in Miami that we don't have a winter. It's a winter. And I realize, say the Rabbi, that there are a few kids in our classrooms that unfortunately they don't have enough money to buy coats. So kids, let's do mitzvah. Let's check out in our houses if there is any old coat. Doesn't matter if it's missing a button, or it doesn't matter if it's a little bit cut. We're going to fix it and we're going to arrange it. Don't worry, just bring it and that will be a great chesed. Uri hears that and Uri goes to his house, runs, and he takes his brand new coat that they bought for him for that year. Comes to the Rabbi and he brings him the brand new coat. Says, Rabbi, here you have the coat. The Rabbi says, listen, I told you old ones, not new ones. Says, Rabbi, I want to fulfill the mitzvah the best way possible. Ben Adam Lahavero. And Rabbi, I'm doing it for refuah shlema. Rabbi, can you promise me that if I give this coat, my mother will have refuah shlema? And the Rabbi said the same thing again. I wish that I will be able to promise, but I can't. But let's pray together, and throughout this mitzvah, for sure it's going to help. Rabotai, winter started. I'm sorry. Winter started, and Uri comes to the school with the old coat, the old one, a little bit smaller. He grew up from last year, a little bit cut over here, not so clean, whatever. And he comes to his classroom, and he was happy. Days pass, and one day, Uri is sitting in the classroom, and in the recess, one of the kids approached Uri and he says, Uri, what is that coat? You know, it's a coat, you know, broken and ripped, and it's a coat of poor people. Why you have those coats? And Uri didn't answer. And when that kid realized that Uri didn't answer, he took a little bit even more of advantage. And he said another word that hurt Uri. But Uri didn't answer. When this kid left, Rabotai, Uri started to cry. And he cried because he was hurt. And then the Rabbi passed next to him. And he sees him crying. He says, Uri, why are you crying? And he told him the whole thing. He said, the Rabbi, but Uri, you were supposed to answer him back. You will help him out to understand what is Mesirut Nefesh, like what you did. You donate your brand new coat to help someone else. Uri looked at his Rabbi and he says, Rabbi, I wasn't able to answer because that kid had my brand new coat. And if I was answering him, I will embarrass him. Say the Rabbi, Uri, you remember you asked me twice if I can promise you? I'm not promising it. The Torah is doing it. Whoever is able to control himself in moments that someone is doing something wrong, those moments are moments that can change all type of bad things. Guess what? Weeks later, the mother went to a checkup, and the doctors couldn't explain it, but she was 100% clean. And the kid knew that that was the merit of one small kid that can make a huge difference. You know, we just passed Sefirat HaOmer, correct? And all of the great students of Rabbi Akiva, 24,000 students, all of them died in a very tragical way. And Chachamim are saying because they didn't respect each other. And everybody asks the same question, I don't understand. Those people, huge in Torah, correct? Those people that were tzaddikim, how come? How it's possible that by having those great Tanaim, it's not, Rabotai, the Gemara writes, we know, Chachamim explained that every Tana that shows up in the Gemara, Tana, have the power to to give life to dead people. Every Tana. You can imagine the students of Rabbi Akiva, they were Tanaim. And all of those 24,000, all the Torah didn't help them out because they didn't respect. How come? Now what's the answer? The answer is what we said at the beginning of the class. Rabotai, Torah is only for one purpose. How do we say every morning? ללמוד וללמד, לשמור ולעשות את כל דברי תלמוד תורתך. ללמוד is great. To teach is amazing. But the greatest thing is to be able to apply it. How do we apply it? We know that we have to control ourselves. We know that we have to be כל הכובש את יצרו. That's a gibor. That's a hero. The question is if we apply it on the moments of challenges or not. And if the person is not able to accomplish it at the moment of challenge, that shows that all the Torah that he got is missing. And that's why the Torah of the students of Rabbi Akiva didn't stand for them and didn't help them out. Rabotai, that's the message. So let's try Be'ezat Hashem to reinforce ourselves in that point. And I'm sure, and I'm not promising, again it's the Torah, that Kol HaMa'avir, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will also forget about his averot, and it will give only good decrees. We will do, Rabotai, the second minyan already finished. Yeah? Okay, good. We will do very quick. An amazing Gemara. Amazing. Sorry. We will do today an amazing Gemara of Chok Israel that is mamash really connected to what we spoke. And I want you to listen to this Gemara. Again, dedicating this class to Nishma Devora Fege Bat Shemuel and Refuah Shelema of Ora Devora Bat Rivka. Toch Roshel Chol Israel. Rabotai, today, Wednesday, Perashat Beha'alotecha, the Gemara of Chok Israel, Masechet, second, Sanhedrin. The Gemara writes down the following lines. Listen carefully. Amar Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi. Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi taught us, Kol hazoveach et yitzro mitvadeh alav. A person who is getting a challenge, who is having Yetzer Hara attacking him right now. And that can be many, many aspects. Can be, like we spoke before, in between you and your fellow. Can be regarding all type of temptations and Yitzarim. Say the Gemara, Ma'aleh alav hakatuv ki'ilu kibdo la'kadosh baruch hu b'shnei olamot. You control today your Yetzer Hara? When you woke up, it was hard to wake up. And he said, I don't care, and I'm waking up, I'm coming up to shul. That action that he did, you're mechabed, you're giving respect to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in Olam Hazeh, and Olam Haba as well. And he says, what are we learning that from? He says, from the Pasuk in Tehillim, Zoveach Todah Yechabdanani. What is this Pasuk? Yechabdanani, it's wrong. It's supposed to be Yechabdani. Why double nun? Say Rashi, the reason is double nun to tell you Olam Hazeh and Olam Haba as well. You control today, you Yetzer Hara, you're giving kavod and you're gaining double. In this world and in the next world as well. Next statement. Ve'amar Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi. Bizman shebeit HaMikdash kayam, when we had the Beit HaMikdash, Adam makriv ola, sachar ola biyado. Person was making one korban. If he fulfilled a mitzvah or not, for sure. If he did korban ola, beauty. He had the mitzvah of korban ola. Mincha, if he did korban mincha, schar mincha biyado. Ay, רבותיי, אבל מי שדעתו שפלה, מעלה עליו הכתוב כאילו הקריב כל הקורבנות כולם. But a person who is humble, a person who is able to take down his ego, to control when someone is hurting him. In Shemayim, what is that considered? So right now, you did korban, all the korbanot all together. And you have the sachar, like you were standing on the Beit HaMikdash and doing every korban to Borei Olam. Why? From where we know that? Also know the Pasuk in Tehillim. Zivchei Elohim, Ruach Nishbara. Lev Nishbar v'nitke Elohim, what is that? Zivchei Elohim means a person who is zoveach, who is making shechita to his ego. He's giving, he's sacrificing himself. Person who sacrifices himself, how? By Ruach Nishbara? That's called a sacrifice to Borei Olam. But it's not done. Says the Gemara, Velo'od. Not only that, Ela she'en tefilato nimeset. This person controlled himself at that moment. His prayers are right away being answered. En tefilato nimeset. Rabotai, it's a strange way of talking. En tefilato nimeset. Nimeset is spoil. His tefillah is not becoming spoil. You're supposed to tell me, tfilato mitkabelet. What is en tfilato nimeset? You understand my question? By saying spoil, it doesn't fit with tefillah. Tefillah is not something spoil. You know what's the answer? Beautiful. The Hafez Chaim brings down a Zohar HaKadosh. The Zohar writes that when a person speaks Lashon Hara, when a person uses his mouth by something negative, right? Could be his cursing, could be his, he's saying things that are not proper. Automatically his mouth, say the Zohar HaKadosh, there is an angel that takes all those words and he leaves it stand by next to his mouth. Then what happened? Then this person will open up a Siddur, will open up a Gemara, will open up something of Kedusha, Berachah he wants to say, with all the Kavanot. He just took out those words of Kedusha. Right away, the words of Tum'ah that he spoke before, wrapped out all the words of Kedusha, and when they go out, up, they make Hilul Hashem. And say the Zohar HaKadosh, the Bar Minan, the result of that is terrible. That's how the Hafetz Chaim writes it down in Minchot Lashon Hara. Say over here something amazing. This tefillah that he spoke, it's a good tefillah or not? It's a bad tefillah. It's spoiled. It's disgusting. But guess what? How can I fix it? You know how is the easiest, kiviyachol easiest way? That if someone just hurt you and you're ready to control yourself and not to get angry, you're able to be ma'avir al midot like we explained before. You're able to be anav, humble. At that moment, en tefilato nimeset. Even though his tefillah was supposed to be spoiled and disgusting, right away he's passing through a laundry and he's being accepted in Shemaim straight up. Amazing. Amazing. And it says like this. Before I continue, you know, there was a story that was published maybe 2 years ago, maybe, or less. Sorry. Regarding a Jew, a girl. She was in camp. Now we're coming to summer, right? There is camps. Now, you know, I don't know here in Miami if we have camps, you know, that they go to sleep out of home. But in New York, New Jersey, they go 2 months outside the house. And the custom is that twice a month, I think it is, the parents can come to visit their kids. But when they come, they come with the whole family. Grandparents and uncles and cousins and yalla. Sulha, right? A whole... Fine. She said that she was in camp, and her parents decided to come with her grandparents. This girl that was in camp, today she's in her 30s. Back then, she says the story. Rabotai, she was in camp, and the grandfather came up with her father, and all of a sudden, they see an old man passing next to them, and the son sees that his father say hello to him with the head. You know? Hello. Now the son knew all the friends of his father. So he asked him, Daddy, who is this guy? I never saw him in my life before. He says, he was my best friend before the war. Psst. You know the story? Beauty, huh? He was my best friend before the war. Daddy, your best friend before the war? You must go jump on him, hug him, kiss him. I never saw him. I believe that you didn't. You neither. Why are you not going to him? No, leave it that way. He already saw that his father is hiding something. He decided he's taking out the secret. Doesn't matter what. He sat down on top of his father. Yalla, Daddy, tell me. And the father tells him, you know, I think they were living in Ukraine. And when they heard that the Nazis were coming to Ukraine to conquer it, all the Jews understood the danger. So every single Jew tried in a certain way, you know, to figure out what are they going to do. Happened to be that a friend of this fellow came up to him and he told him, let's call him Yaakov. Right? Yaakov, what's your plan? What are you going to do? He says, the truth is that Siyata Dishmaya, Baruch Hashem, I got visas to be able to travel to go out from the country. Our plan is to go to a certain country in Europe. I don't know if it was Switzerland or whatever. And from there to go straight to the U.S. But I'm hiding those visas, in the house. It's Bezat Hashem, tomorrow, after tomorrow, we're going to do it. With all the family. And this Yaakov, this father is telling his son, next morning, he went to his house to take out the visas. They were gone. They were not there. Not only the visas weren't there, the guy wasn't there neither. The friend stole the visas and escaped together with all his family, and he got to the U.S. And this guy, Yaakov, stayed in Ukraine. They took him, his wife, his in-laws, his family to Auschwitz. His wife got killed, his in-laws as well. He was able to survive. The son hears that story and he's frozen. He says, "What? Daddy, I asked you before why you didn't hug him. My question is why you don't kill him? You're saying even hello to this Rasha?" And the father says, "Shh, you're not talking like that. It's not my issue, and I'm not angry at this guy. But how come you're not angry? He killed your wife." You know what he said? He said, "Rabotai," he said to his son, "Listen, honey, it's very easy to judge, but it's very hard to be able to want to understand what happened in the head of the other one. Before the war, believe me, the stress and the panic that we had was something that, we act in ways that maybe we will never act like that before. I don't know. For sure, whatever the guy did was incorrect. But one thing, I'm not angry at him because I can understand him." Say the son, when I heard my father saying that, about that terrible, terrible result that happened, I look at my life and I saw all the problems that I have in business, neighbors, family issues, people that hurt me, people that make to me bad things. And I said, if my father was able to forgive someone that killed up his wife and his in-laws and his family, and he was able not to carry any hate inside his heart, I'm not going to be able to do it in such a shtuyot problems that I'm having in my life. That's kol ha'ma'avir al midotav. That's the concept of being lev zivchei Elohim ruach nishbara. Person who takes himself as a secondary. I'm not the most important. And whatever's supposed to happen to me is going to happen anyways. And whatever the guy did is not my issue, it's the issue with him, with God. I'm not supposed to have any, and I'm not supposed to curse him and to have any type of anger. It's not my business. When a person lives that way, it's considered that he gave all the korbanot in the Beit HaMikdash to Borei Olam. Ends of the Gemara of today. Amar Rabbi Elazar, Le'olam yagdim adam tefila letzara. Person have to be always praying before the problem will come. She'ilmale lo yagdim Avraham tefila letzara ben beter uben ha'ay lo nishtayer mirosha Yisrael sarid upalit. If Avraham wasn't praying, some are explaining over here regarding Sdom Amorah that he prayed. At least one got saved, or three rather. Lot and his two daughters. Rabotai, how many times happened that we pray only when we have an issue? When something is getting, a little bit tight, parnasa, yalla. Yeah, let's pray. Refuah, I'm not feeling so well. Let's open the Hechal, Tehillim. Are we praying also when everything is good? Forget about thinking that that's another issue. That's another shiur. But to ask, even when the problem didn't get there. Says the Gemara, listen carefully. Resh Lakish amar kol ha'me'ametz atzmo batefila milemata. When a person is obligating himself to pray. Why he obligates himself? Because there is no need right now. I don't feel that I need something. I'm Baruch Hashem good. But I prayed even though I don't need it. Says the Gemara, En lo tzarim milemala. But Olam doesn't need to put him any type of challenges. Why? Because he's already praying. He's already connected. And maybe, when a person prays, not only is being connected, but he lives with Borei Olam in every step. He feels like Kadosh Baruch Hu in his life. That's why, by the way, the Hasidim are very into the concept of tefillah. Why? They said, listen, you can have people, they learn Torah the whole day long. But how much Yirat Shamayim they have? Kiviyachol the Torah is not making the change. It's not. So the Hasidim explains, whatever the Mishnah writes, Ashrosha Devarim, Ha'olam Omed, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. העבודה is tefillah. If I'm missing one of the three, the world is not standing. If I as a Jew, I'm not praying, my Torah is great, but I'm missing something so important in my connection with Borei Olam. And yes, you must pray, even when everything is going good, and even if there is no problems coming up. I think I told you this story, and with this I'm done today. Listen carefully, amazing. You don't want me to finish? Have shiurim also after. Okay, Bezat Hashem. Very quick story. Yeshiva in Israel, they were testing boys to accept them in the yeshiva. Now in Israel, I don't know if you know the environment, but boys that are going to the strong yeshivot, they're having a lot of pressure. They prepare themselves throughout a few months before. Which yeshiva you're going to be accepted? I got it in this yeshiva, the other one in that yeshiva. You know, it's not easy. Anyway, there was a boy, 13, 14 years old, that went to one of the yeshivot, the best yeshivot in Israel, to be tested. 3 rabbis were sitting and they were asking him questions. The kid was a brilliant, genius. Every single question, the guy takes it out, Tosafot, Rishonim, Aharonim, the whole mahalach of the sugiyot. You get nuts, a boy of 13 years old. But not only that, looks such a good boy. Not only Torah, Midot, how he speaks with respect, with anava. You know, the boy that every yeshiva will wish to have. And the rabbis enjoyed it so much that the test didn't become a test already. It became, something that, they're getting so much connected into the learning and into the quality of the boy. They loved it. After I don't know how much time, they tell to the boy, we're very impressed on you. Just, Bezat Hashem, you're in. There's no question about it. The boy was very thankful, and he left the room. Rabotai, one of the rabbis, turned up to his friends. I'm sorry, before that. They asked him his name. And this rabbi asked him, what's your name? And he told him his name. And he says, oh, that's your last name? Is your father so-and-so? So yes. I knew him from yeshiva. Oh, very interesting. Okay. Sending my regards. And the boy left. The rabbi turned up to his friends. And he says, what do you think about the kid? Amazing, huh? Let me tell you what's the story behind it. When I was in yeshiva, said the Rabbi, when I was in yeshiva, was already when I was in my 20s, I have this father of this guy as a Havruta. And we're learning Torah day and night. We finish up Gemarot, Masechtot, Be'ayun. We learn it. We enjoy it so much. One day my friend comes up to me and he tells me, listen, I'm getting engaged. Now for me it was a good thing, it was a bad thing as well. I'm gonna lose my Havruta. So I show him I'm very happy and wow and amazing. And he got married. But before he got married, we fixed up. We said, you know what, you're going to go to Kovel. I'm going to stay in Yeshiva, but I want to learn with you. Every Thursday night, after I finish my learning in Yeshiva, after you finish your Kovel, we're going to learn 1 hour in your house. I'm ready to come to your house if you want. Once a week. Sounds amazing. And he was coming every single day. Every single week, Thursday night, to learn with his Chavruta. Year after, something like that. One day, this guy comes to the house of his friend. He's about to knock at the door, and he hears someone crying. He's at the house. He stops, and he says, I don't know if it's the right moment, to enter. I don't know. Took him a few minutes, and he hears the guy crying, but he says, it's not a regular, he's not crying with someone else, he's crying by himself. I don't know. Weird. Should I knock the door? Should I not knock the door? And then he said to himself, listen, I'm his friend. I'm his friend in every occasion. If he needs me, I'm going to be here to help him. He knocked at the door. Took a few seconds. He heard the chairs moving, and the friend opened up. Obviously, his eyes were a little bit red. And he says, Avram, what's wrong? Everything okay? He says, Baruch Hashem, everything amazing. Mazal Tov, I got a baby boy. He says, wow! Amazing! And he hugged him, Mabruk, Mabruk. But Avram, why are you crying? The emotion, what is exactly? Doesn't look like I was hearing you crying. It wasn't like from happiness. And Abraham told him, no, you know what? I'm going to tell you the truth. I wasn't just crying. I was praying. And I was praying to Borei Olam with all my heart. Please, Hashem, help me out to educate this baby, this kid, and to have the merit, to have this kid a great person in Torah and Yirat Shamayim. He said, today, 13 years later, I see the result of a person that is able to pray, even though he's just a baby boy, just was born now. He's not going to go to yeshiva right away. You have time. But when a person prays with time, that's what the Gemara writes, En lo tzarim milemala. There is no challenges that in Shamayim they bring to him. You know why? Because you already prayed. You already got connected. And when you get connected, Borei Olam doesn't need any more than that. So Rabotai, everything is going good. Baruch Hashem. Pray for health. Pray for Torah. Pray for education. Pray for refuah shlema of all this. Pray for geulah shlema. And then Be'ezrat Hashem will be all of us able to see Mashiach Tzidkenu very soon. B'mena b'yameinu amen.